the camera reinvented. The big W himself, Walt Mossberg, is going to weigh in. He joins us now from Washington, D.C. And there he is, taking a photo of something with a something, and it looks, wow. It looks like
cool.
Something I made in
And then I think
class.
afterwards he's going to adjust it so you're out of focus, Simon.
Is
That's what he told me.
I'm only focusing on Lauren. That's the deal.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm not heard. But do carry on. Tell us about this thing that's a camera. It's the Lytro.
Okay, so this is the Lytro, and as you can see, it looks nothing like a regular camera. And one of the reasons is it has a very large lens, and it zooms, but it zooms entirely inside here. Has a digital touch screen for a viewfinder here. And the big deal here is they've changed the fundamental way the camera captures the picture. It's something called light field photography. It was developed at Stanford about 15 years ago. And basically, in very simple terms, it takes in a lot more information about the light that's hitting the lens than a regular camera does. So it creates a much richer digital photo file. And with that file, which includes information like how many light rays are hitting it and from what direction and all that, they can do a lot of things after the fact. And the key selling point at launch is you can focus your pictures, you can refocus them after they've been taken. So you can just snap, 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 it's very quick. And then later on your computer, you can change whether you want the foreground in focus or the background or whatever. And there's more of those kinds of things to come.
Well, it sounds like this camera captures a lot of information that makes this possible, but I'm wondering, for people out there that are maybe really savvy with post-production tools, I'm wondering what the big difference is between using something like this and then deciding on what you're going to focus on, and maybe taking a standard photo into like a Photoshop and saying, well, I'm going to add a blur and thus sort of adjust the whole look and feel of the image. What's the real difference?
Well, first of all, Lauren, as you know, I don't write for professionals or folks who would tend to do a lot of that. I'm writing for average consumers, and this camera is aimed at average consumers. But the answer to your question is, and this is a downside I noted, at least at the moment, you can't take one of these photos, these files, and put it into Photoshop or any other editing program because it's a whole new file format and they're not geared up to use it. Lytro is working on, it has its own software that goes along with this for organizing the photos and viewing them and refocusing them and sharing them. You can put them up on Facebook, you can put them up on Lytro's own free service, but they don't have editing tools. So you can't, at the moment, you can't crop these pictures, can't change the brightness, contrast, and you certainly can't do the kind of sophisticated stuff you can do in Photoshop. They say that's coming.
I'm curious as well, are these files captured to an SD card?
No, it's sealed memory. The base model at $399 has 8 gigs of memory, which can hold about 450 pictures. This red model I'm holding is $100 more. It has double the memory. It can hold about 750 pictures. The battery is also sealed, and they say you can get 400 to 600 pictures before the battery needs to be charged again.
That does seem like an awful lot. Now, Walt, sometimes I feel that my life is a blur. Could this device help me refocus it? What do you think?
Yes, there's a special Simon Constable mode in here. I didn't actually reveal it in the column, Simon.
You didn't?
That will help people to refocus their entire life.
That's what I need. Lauren knows this. I mean, it's a blur sometimes. You know what it's like. No, seriously though, why not have people actually learn to focus the camera themselves rather than actually just go snappity snap and then focus afterwards? Is this just really aimed at people who can't be bothered?
Well, I think, there are different kinds of people that want to do different kinds of things. This is really meant for people that have point-and-shoot cameras, which already have autofocus. This does not need autofocus because, of course, you can focus it later. And that gives you a big advantage, which is autofocus slows down the time between shots because it has to acquire, the focus on the subject. This doesn't need that. So you can just shoot almost as fast as you can push the button. between shots, and a lot of people will find that a big advantage. For instance, if you have little kids, running around and stuff like that. So, if you're really intent on focusing yourself and focusing while you're framing the shot, then you don't want this. But the key point here is this is just the beginning of an entirely new way of capturing light, capturing everything coming into the lens, and even years later, these files will be able to be manipulated in a whole bunch of ways. Give you a couple of examples. They're going to introduce a way in the software that you can change the perspective of the photo, and they've already demoed this, so that you're looking at the scene from a different angle. They're going to introduce a way that everything snaps into focus regardless of its depth. They're going to introduce a feature that takes 2D pictures and turns them into 3D pictures if you have a 3D display. The file just has all this rich information that allows them with software to do a whole bunch of things that you can't do in a regular, let's say, JPEG file.
Okay, and how much is this going to cost us, Walt, before you go?
$399.
$399.
I have one more quick question. Is it Wi-Fi enabled?
Is it? I'm sorry, Lauren?
Does it have Wi-Fi capabilities?
It does not have Wi-Fi built in, but that's another possibility.
Cool.
Wow. Cool stuff, as ever. Walt Mossberg, the big W
Thanks,
himself,
Walt.
weighing in on that Lytro.